everyone, this is FantasyEsque and welcome back to the Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are diving on in with our Queen, Priestess, and Scholar on the roller skating rink. They are having a little bit of fun outside in the sun, which is making me a little bit nervous, so I might rush them back within the safe confines of our castle walls. But let's have a really quick discussion about what we saw in the mini-movie. So our Queen Eden was in the temple looking at the statue of the goddess and just reflecting in silence when she was intruded upon by the priestess, who told her that while she wants to change a lot of things, there are certain customs that have to be followed through, and she was referring to the fire tribute. And what we ended up seeing is that Queen Eden, unlike past queens, is actually quite reluctant to go through with the fire tribute, and she was trying to think of ways to maybe delay the process until perhaps a princess is born and they've, secured the next generation. Then maybe she's going to feel a bit more comfortable letting her mother go. And I feel like part of that is because as a childish Sim, she's kind of reliant on, the older Sims just a little bit, maybe even emotionally, and she doesn't feel ready to become the most important person in the Empire until she manages to get this important thing done. I feel like it's almost as though she's taking the responsibility that her mother has and is pushing it onto the daughter before it ever really comes to her. So she kind of wants that safety net of having Queen Aphrodite around for a little bit longer. But the priestess just gently, reminded her that it has always been done. So anyways, because the queen couldn't make up her mind about this, she decided to consult her council members, the champion, her sister, Lady Guinevere, and then Lady Meredith, the scholar. So she consulted her council members, and she was saying that she finds it cruel for them to throw their mothers to the flames as soon as she's become queen. It just doesn't feel as though it is a way to show appreciation for the training they've given her and how they've raised her. And she, wants to delay the process, or is thinking about it until maybe the heiress is born. And Meredith, she thought it was a very kind thing of the queen to say. But Guinevere was very quick to jump in, and she said, yes, it's kind and a terrible, a grievous mistake, because the fire tribute is part of a larger process to complete your transition of being on the throne or taking over the throne, consolidating your power, becoming queen in its kind of proper form, right? And so she's saying that in order for you to be the highest power in the land and to be a true queen, you have to do the fire tribute. And Eden was a little bit unsure, nervous, and she said, do you really think so? And Guinevere replied that it is the right thing to do, trust me, sister. Now also, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this in the mini-movies, but while everyone else refers to Eden as Your Majesty, Guinevere is the only one who refers to Eden as sister. And that is important because even in past generations, even the siblings of the queen have to refer to her as my queen or your majesty, whatever it is, right? Normally they say my queen. The fact that Guinevere is refusing to call her by her title and is saying sister, it's almost her little way of rebelling against Eden's authority in her own way. And Eden doesn't see it, obviously, because she's naive, she's childish, she doesn't think that Guinevere means anything terrible by it. For her, it makes sense. Yes, I'm her sister, it's okay for her to call me sister. But she doesn't realize that there is another intention beneath all of that. So anyways, basically, because Guinevere has a stronger personality than Meredith, and the queen is relying on, one of them to spearhead this decision, essentially the fire tribute is is going to continue as it always has, because Guinevere, as a stronger personality, has kind of said that it must continue. And for Guinevere, again, it is because she likes the power that she has right now over Eden. She wants to maintain that without interruption from anyone. And while we do have a historical reason for why it happens, she also does not want the older generation keeping them in check in any way and meddling with how things are going to run. And if they, don't go through with the fire tribute, that is exactly what's going to happen. So if the older generation isn't around, then Guinevere has the most power when it comes to influencing Eden. So that's exactly how she wants to keep it. But okay, we are going to dive into the episode now that we have a background on, what's been going on. So these guys, I need to send them on inside because it is making me nervous. I mean, I suppose they can skate around for like a little bit if they want. It makes me really happy that they're using the skating rink, I'm not gonna lie. Look at this. Oh, this is so cool. Does this get their fitness up? It does! Okay, that's excellent. So I don't even have to worry about having a sparring machine. This is completely fine as it is. Oh, that's so cool. That is so, so cool. But right, so we do have this going on, and what's happening here? I don't know. But look who's come to visit, guys! You might not recognize some of these Sims because they've had a bit of a makeover. But this is Lady Yuki Noxa. Lady Yuki, who has always had genetically white eyes. But because, even the older generation have been blessed by the goddess with new eyes and ears, she now has these purple eyes, which is really, really cool. The purple, vampiric eyes. So she's got that. And obviously the sharp ears, like the elfish ears. Now the other thing you will have noticed in the cast videos is that all our vampires now have black eyes in their vampiric form. So that is part of the blessing they have with the goddess. And I feel as though this generation in particular, they've got this sense where they consider themselves as like the divine bloodlines now, right? So they have this sense of, again, superiority for a whole new reason. That they have been chosen by the goddess for this transformation, and that they are above all other vampires. Them and, Sims of people of their bloodline are above all the other vampires. Because of now these new genetic markers that they have. Which is really cool for them. And I'm kind of surprised that the energy's not going down. Well, it's going down a little bit, but it's because it's 7 p.m. I was like, it's the daytime and the energy's not going down. That is not the case. But Yuki is over here, so we are going to get Queen Eden to invite Lady Yuki inside. And in fact, we are going to be, at a later point in this episode, throwing a farewell party for the older generation where they're going to come visit us in the new castle, and at least, they'll get to see this new place that Eden has built for herself, and they'll get some peace of mind before they leave. And in case you're curious, the reason why historically it's been done is because the vampires are immortal, right? The vampires are immortal, and they don't want members of their race, particularly the previous generations, to stick around. Why are you going in there? This is supposed to be the front door. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, I feel as though some things just have... Hold on a second. You should not even be... You shouldn't have access to that. You shouldn't have access to that. How are you going on in? Yeah, you shouldn't have access to this place. It's because I think it was set as the front door, which is silly because this should be. Ay, ay, ay. But yes, like I was saying, the reason for that is that... hold on a second. I don't even think we have autonomy on. Oh, geez, that is not cool. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Okay. Autonomy's on now, thank goodness. But basically, the older generation, they do not want to get in the way of the younger generation who are trying to progress the vampiric race and the empire. Because the older generation, they have their own ideas. They are doing things their way. And whether their generation has good or bad in it, it must be contained within that generation. And then when a daughter, challenges the queen and wins, the idea is that your offspring is stronger than you are. So the world that they're going to build is hopefully a better world than yours. And, whatever direction it ends up in, whether it's good or bad, it is going to be a different world from yours, and you shouldn't be around to influence them and their capabilities. Now, if they were mortal, it would be different, but because they're immortal and their influence could last forever, they don't want to get in the way, basically, of their offspring being the higher power. And it's also, you don't want to compromise the new queen's authority by having the old queen there and making people divided between them. Right? You want a clean transfer of power. So that's why the fire tribute happens, so that the older generation can move on with the peace of mind that, okay, the youngsters have things under control. Whatever happens, good or bad, they are going to deal with it. Right? And hopefully they're going to progress the vampire race. So that is the idea behind the fire tribute. We don't want the youngsters to be relying on the older generation. We don't want that. Or at least the older generation doesn't want that. It is the sign of a successful queen for your daughter to be able to do things on her own, for your children to be able to continue things on their own. So that is exactly why the fire tribute must take place. So we definitely want to be having a party at some point later in this episode. But first, I actually want to bring our attention... Where's Yuki gone? She's in here somewhere. Why are these ladies coming on inside? Like, why? You should not have access to this place. But, that's frustrating. Okay, Yuki's traveling upstairs, but that's frustrating me just a little bit. Because they shouldn't have access. They really shouldn't. Let me try and lock this for everyone but Xiomara again, because that's exactly how it should be. They should be walking through here. That's a bit frustrating, because this is supposed to be locked off to everyone but the physician. But before we dive into all of that, I want to talk about the physician and some things that are new with the physician. So the queen, now in previous generations, this role was known as the alchemist, and basically it entailed making potions and making sure that you had the particularly plentiful needs potions and the needs of the vampires kind of kept up. But now, under Queen Eden, it has changed into the role of the physician, which again is supposed to, take care of the well-being of the vampires. And look at them in the queen's chamber. In the queen's chamber. What are they doing in the queen's quarters? You guys should not be here. This counts as like snooping around. You shouldn't even be here. Oh my goodness. But anyways, the physician's supposed to be looking after the vampires, but in a different way, slightly, to what they've been doing in the past. So Queen Eden, I feel as though under Guinevere's guidance, wants to go back to the way things were in the earlier generations, in the very beginning, back to their vampiric roots as much as possible, especially after their transformation and ascension. She feels as though they have to reconnect with their vampiric nature, right? So as part of that, the queen has banned the creation of plentiful needs potions. And I can see Elaine over there talking to Meredith about children. I can see that. But anyways, like I was saying, the queen has banned the creation of plentiful needs potions. And instead, everyone, they have to start relying on more primal things now to keep their needs up. Basically using the resources, like using the coffins more, actually, taking a bath and going to the restroom, and also actually drinking from the lesser races to sate your thirst, rather than using magical potions that are artificially going to satiate your hunger. So that's what the queen wants this new generation to be doing. Now, the physician is going to be allowed to create certain potions, but not the banned potions. There are going to be a bunch of banned potions, and they're going to be a bunch of potions that are acceptable. For example, like the potion of emotional stability, right? So if anyone's going through emotional turmoil, they can go see the physician, and she's going to basically give them a potion of emotional stability to calm them down and ease their emotions. So those are the kind of things that the physician will be doing. But in terms of thirst and stuff, she's also gonna be the vampirist, who is in charge of basically managing the plasma flowers as we've known them in the past. They might have a new identity this time around, but managing the blood givers, right? The ones who the vampiresses are going to be drinking from, and summoning them to the castle, making sure everyone's had a drink, and like sending them away. Basically, that's going to be part of the physician's role now. That's what she's in charge of and what she's supposed to be doing. So I definitely have to go at some point and make a list of all the potions that are banned and all the potions that are not banned. But that is kind of where I'm going with her role. But as a result, I feel as though we need to make a trip to the magic realm. Because we have to buy some potion ingredients, and I do also want to plant a bunch of ingredients so that she can harvest them and she can use them to create the potions that she's going to be making. And in the past, we've also kind of, had almost unlimited access to apples and such for the plentiful needs potions, and we've been using that to constantly make stuff. Whereas this time around, I think it's going to be more important for for the physician to actually make a trip to the magic realm to buy resources or plant resources to create her potions with. And depending on the type of potions she creates, she's not going to have unlimited access to these resources. So they have to be a lot more careful with how they use the potions they have. So I'm going to take her to Caster's Alley so that we can purchase whatever it is that we need. And then, of course, she has to learn a whole bunch of potions as well. And right now, I think she only knows one potion. She knows the potion of good fortune. Now, I'm just quickly going to take a look at some of these because I might have an idea as to what's allowed and what's not allowed. Okay, Plentiful Needs is going to be a banned potion for sure. Potion of Nausea might not be. Good Fortune might not be, but I don't know how useful that's going to be. Nimble Mind is not going to be a banned potion, I feel. Magical Aura, we have some gray potions which are not really useful, I feel, for the way I play, and some of them are. Alluring Aura, I don't think should be a banned potion. Emotional Stability definitely won't be. See, then you've got stuff like Forced Friendship, Masterful Insults, Rejuvenation, that's going to be a banned potion. We've got Curse Cleansing, Immortality is a banned potion. Transcendent Charmer. I don't remember what this potion does. Prompt Resurrection is going to be a banned potion. But yeah, I need to go through this list to see the type of potions that are useful. Maybe some of them are going to be exclusive potions. And some of them are going to be potions that you can use. Like, I feel like Emotional Stability and Nimble Mind, those Curse Cleansing, those potions are going to be potions that are allowed. And then, I suppose it'll be might interesting if we have certain banned potions that others potentially might steal. So I'll have to look through the list again, but I know for sure Plentiful Needs is going to be banned, and Emotional Stability is not going to be banned. So let me know what you guys think about that, but that is definitely the way that I am going for the way that we want to do the physician's role. And I still have to go actually and establish the, she's got the Magical Research Society, which is completely fine. you know, she's going to be continuing that. And look, this is Azura Valenka. So previously I was talking, she still hasn't gotten like her proper genes allocated, and Serana, they should have the new genes allocated to them, because you know, even though they are spellcasters or hybrids, I don't know if everyone's a hybrid, but even though they are primarily spellcasters, they are still part of the larger coven and an attachment, I suppose, to the vampiric race. So they have been blessed along with the vampires, and so they are kind of special as spellcasters in that way. So I feel like as though they need to go through their transformation as well, which you know, some of them haven't completed their transformations, I suppose. Okay, let's buy potion ingredients from here. And I think there's certain crystals over here that we can use in certain potions, if I'm not mistaken. So we might take a look at that. Okay, let's see. What kind of potion ingredients can we buy this time around? And if we have anything to plant, we might do that as well. Okay, we have apples. They have apples, apparently. Okay, we're gonna just buy 5 of everything. 5 of everything. Mandrake, and then we can plant some of these as well. Obtanium, parsley, potato. Yes, and then let's see. Spotted dirt frog. So we'll get these, and then we can plant a bunch of them when we get back to the castle. But let's see, what are the crystals and brooms we can buy? I don't know if she has a broom. Our spellcasters, like, they lose their brooms constantly, I feel. Which is kind of silly, but you know, it's a problem with the game, I tell you. It's a problem with the game. But let's get this gnarled wood broom, because it looks cool. So we're gonna get that wood broom. Who knows if we're gonna use it? We might as well. Set to preferred broom, always use brooms, we'll do that. And then we'll get her a wand as well while we're here, so that she can have a wand to use. Okay. Oh look, we have these like, ooh, familiar orbs, but you know, previously. Now, the thing with the physician, the rule still applies to them, where they, I think the rule still applies that they can't access a new branch of magic until they've mastered alchemy. And then once they've mastered, then they can get themselves the orbs. That still applies, but definitely they, yeah, that still applies. So that part of their role beforehand applies, but it's just the amount of potions they make, the kind of potion that they make, that's going to change. So they have a more rounded role of physician than they did as an alchemist. We're going to get this wand of the Sylvan Forest because it looks so cool. Heck yeah. We're going to make that our preferred wand. We're going to always use wands because that looks too cool. And I'm going to take Zumara back to the castle, and also we are going to get I think we'll get the scholar to send out invitations. We'll get the scholar to send out invitations to the older generation so they can come visit us at the castle, and we can, you know, have a little party and say goodbye to them. But before we leave, I want to show you guys this. So I have been getting really irritated at the fact that the Sims constantly pull out their phones, which looks so modern in this kind of fantasy Let's Play. And so I was looking around and I found this really cool mod that replaces your phones with this kind of notebook. So every time they pull out their phones, they're not pulling out their phones, it's like they're pulling out an address book or a little notebook to write some notes into. And that's just so cool. But I'm pretty sure I think I have a link to the mod, like I've noted down somewhere, so I will put that in the description of this video. So if you guys like that sort of thing, you can totally download it for your game. I feel like it's so useful because it breaks the immersion just a little bit when you have them just pulling out their phones. You know, I don't like that. So this makes me really happy. And then, you know, if they call someone or they summon someone to the castle, we can say that they're pulling out the address book and they're sending a letter or a message. But okay, let me settle all of that and then I'll be right back. I actually wanted to go ahead and plant some of the ingredients that Lady Xiomara purchased before we go ahead and start calling over the guests. So let me go ahead and plant some potatoes. I just want to plant like everything that we have. So plant the potatoes, we'll plant the parsley and the mandrake, and we'll do the apple as well. So definitely more so in this generation, instead of just purchasing the ingredients from like the purchase gifts option, I want them to try and have like sections of the castle where they grow certain things, where the physician grows things, and she actually uses the stuff that she grows. I really want that. You're not gonna plant like, you're not gonna plant elsewhere, honey? No? Oh, well, I didn't realize that. But I would like to plant the stuff everywhere if possible. What's this? Parsley, yes. I think we've got like 4 sections per plot. Okay, queue's full. I'm sorry. I apologize. Get through that. Okay, she's gonna go ahead and do this. Oh, yes, she likes gardening. That's nice. I definitely want them to do like a lot more gardening than they used to do beforehand. Okay, we can only have the 1 apple tree there, which is completely fine. And, you know, I might even move some of the plots around. Like, I might have trees in some other section, or I might have the garden, like the smaller herbs and flowers in this section. I just think that might be nice and very pretty. I mean, this is the entrance. You know, we have the bridge over here to the training grounds. We've got the alchemy lab over there. So it makes sense to have the garden over here. It's just very nice. It's just very pretty. Okay, we've got 1 more potato. 1 more potato? No? No potato? Yes, we do. We do. Okay, so then it's, I think, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and then we'll do mandrake, mandrake, mandrake. And we only have the 1 apple over there, and that's completely fine. And so we can regularly, or you know, whenever we like run out of ingredients to use in potions, we can go to the magic realm, to Costa's Alley, we can purchase some more ingredients, and then if it's something we don't have, we can add it to our garden. And then we can have a resource that we constantly get over time. And oh, look at Aura Luna just running around here and there. What a happy kitty cat. What a happy cat. Okay, this happy cat needs us, I feel like, maybe to fill the food bowl. So we are going to totally do that once we are done. I mean, she's the physician. It is kind of her role to be doing all of this. So I'm going to make sure that she does it to the best of her ability. Okay, so while she's wrapping that up, I'm going to get the scholar, Lady Meredith. What's this? This is so cool. I'm going to get Lady Meredith to host a, let's see, social maybe? Throw an event? Plan a social event? Yes, we'll do that. Because we want to have like a bit of a party. And what's this? Chat with Lord Trista. So he is one of the visitants that attacked in the previous generation. So as you can see, the visitants haven't changed in appearance because they didn't get the, like they weren't blessed by the goddess to ascend because they're not part of the Salazar coven and, you know, an extension of the Salazar bloodline. They're not connected to them like the spellcasters are. And the Salazars themselves. So they look exactly the same, but if you look at all the male soldiers that we have that are related to the Salazars, even their appearances have changed. So I feel like that's pretty cool. But okay, we are going to just have a little party at the castle. And obviously the queen and all of our ladies are going to be hosting. And the guests, we want it to be, look, we've got Lady Saphira Dragon, Lady Galaxia Dragon, Lady Siri Dravage, Lady Yuki Noxar, Queen Aphrodite Salazar. And I think those are all the females we're going to invite. I think they're all that's left of the previous generation. We had the 5 females. So we are going to call them over to Eden's court. And this was the old castle over there, in case you guys are curious. And you were new. This was the old castle, which is Castle Aphrodite, and then we have Castle Eden over here, which you can kind of see. You can see how it looks, right, when it's not covered in snow. It looks quite pretty, I feel. But I didn't realize this. So Castle Aphrodite I also made with complete CC. And then I deleted all the CC in Castle Aphrodite before I started building Castle Eden so that I could download new stuff and my game wouldn't get bogged down. And then I went into Castle Aphrodite to do something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was to give like Aphrodite and stuff a makeover, and then I was kind of checking up on everyone while I was there. I wanted to check whether they could use beds or coffins while I was building Castle Eden, and then everything in Castle Aphrodite was just blank. Like, everything was replaced with the Maxis stuff, but it was replaced with the really basic Maxis stuff, and it was like completely blank, and I was like, what the heck? Everything was CC? What? But yes, everything was. So, you know, if you guys do download that castle as well, make sure that you download the CC for the castle, which every season, almost every season, I feel like, I know I've been doing it this season and last season for sure. I don't know if I have in previous seasons, but usually in the very first episode of the season, or you know, one of the early episodes, I specify which one when you start a new generation, but I do have a Google document with a link to all the CC that you should download before you get the castle off the gallery. Otherwise everything's going to be replaced by Max's stuff, and if that doesn't bother you, that's fine. You'll have the shell of the castle, but its exact appearance is going to be different. Anyways, we're having the party over here at Castle Eden, and hopefully everyone gets changed, and we can see, oh my goodness, we can see our older members coming on through, and oh look, Saphira, oh a beautiful Saphira. We have Saphira over here, we have her twin sister Galaxia. Now these guys are twins, twin sisters, but they're not identical twins. Every other set of twins we've had are identical twins, but these two aren't. But this is Galaxia over here. She's Catherine and Elaine's mother. Queenie, where are your clothes? Why? Where are your clothes, Queenie? I swear you had clothes. Oh my goodness, guys. I need to fix, I need her to have clothes. Where are your clothes, honey? Let me give her clothes, then we'll be right back. Finally, our previous queen is fully clothed, so we can go ahead and get this party started, but I want Queen Eden to come on in and greet her elders. So we're going to thank everyone for coming, because you need to pay your respects to them for helping to raise you. And Guinevere, you stink like crazy. Oh my goodness. You need to go tend to yourself, honey. Please do. Also, I do not like that Elaine, secret genius evil, is actually snooping around the queen's chambers. That does not make me too comfortable. Now, where is Yuki? Lady Yuki is over here. Thank her for coming. And where's Siri? Okay, Lady Siri is over here. Thank Lady Siri as well. Now, Yuki is the scholar. She was Guinevere's, not Guinevere, what am I saying? She was Meredith's mentor, and she never had any children, but she did want children. She just never, unfortunately, got around to it because our slots filled up. The coven didn't have enough resources to raise more children, so she never got the chance for that. And Siri over here is our previous brood mother. She is the mother of Lagatha and Meredith over here. And she is so pretty. I'm not gonna look at her. She is so flippin' pretty. Not gonna lie. She looks gorgeous. And her daughters, both her daughters have inherited that. And let's just take a closer look at these Sims. Saphira over here, she was our previous champion, and she didn't have any kids because she didn't want any kids, so she chose not to. this is Galaxia, like I said before, her twin sister. She's the mother of Catherine and Elaine. Also, your younger daughter is snooping back there. She shouldn't be. And then our lovely queen from the previous generation, Queen Aphrodite, the mother of Eden, who I feel like is quite pleasant looking as well. Now, I am not going to lie. I feel as though, I don't know your opinions, but I feel as though Eden and Guinevere, like, they are not the prettiest children we have had. In fact, in terms of queens, I feel like Eden is the least attractive queen that we have had, in my opinion. I used to think that about Aphrodite, but then when I look at Aphrodite compared to Eden, I feel like Aphrodite is actually quite pretty. She's quite beautiful. But yeah, that's just the way I feel. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that they don't have, you know what, I think what bothers me the most is that they don't have those huge bug eyes that I love. Like their grandmother, I thought was just so beautiful. Wisteria. She had these big bug eyes. And maybe even the reason I'm partial to Meredith and Lagatha is because they have inherited that from Ciri. So I absolutely love the appearance they have. And even Catherine and Elaine, like, I feel like they're quite pretty Sims. I feel like the Dravage sisters just take the cake, though. The Dravage sisters definitely take the cake. But yeah, I'm hoping that changes this next generation. I hope Eden is somehow able to produce some very, very beautiful princesses for us. But I kind of like the fact that, you know, not all of our ladies are all, like, strikingly beautiful across the generations. Some are stronger than others in this aspect, and I feel like it kind of sets them apart quite a bit. But yes, both Eden and Guinevere inherited those, like, really tiny pupils from their mother, and it makes me sad. I love the big bug-eyed ones. But okay, you guys, Catherine's over here chatting. Have you, like, paid your respects to everyone? I don't think she has. Okay, now she's kind of doing her rounds, which is good. She's doing her rounds. Now, Galaxia. Do you recognize Galaxia as, like... no, does not recognize Galaxia as an aunt, which is fine, because she's your mother's cousin. So, like, a very distant aunt. But... that's okay. Also, you have a lovely party like outfit and you're not even wearing it. Like, what about the effort I put into dressing you up in that? I suppose it's okay if she doesn't want to wear it. She's like, no, I'm gonna stick to my active training gear, my military wear. That's what I'm gonna stick to. And I suppose that's completely fine. But, you know, the other ladies are making a bit of an effort. I feel like you should too. So, actually, yeah, she's gonna make an effort, okay? She's gonna make an effort. It is going to happen. So, we'll get you changed. Oh, hello, Yuki. Even Yuki. Yuki was, like, so pretty. So pretty. And I was expecting the princesses to be, like, breathtaking because their father was Major. Like, my favorite... male sim to ever be born. In the Salazar bloodline. Ever to be born in the Salazar bloodline. I just flippin' loved him to pieces. Unfortunately, he died. But I loved him to pieces. So, I was really excited when he... when he bred with Aphrodite, and I thought that we were going to get these stunning princesses, which, you know, when they were young, actually, I'm not going to lie, when they were children, and when they were toddlers and children, they actually looked very cute and very pretty. But then they lost it as they aged up, unfortunately. But this is a party wear. Does it look pretty? I will not lie, her outfits are very beautiful. I feel like her makeover is quite pretty. But, you know, there's only so much you can do when you're working with the genetics you have. And that's one thing. I don't like changing the genetics my Sims are born with at all. There's certain adjustments I might make to, like, their neck and stuff so that I can fit my CC necklaces on them. But I will not change anything on their face physically. Like, the features they're born with, they keep that. I may try and beautify them with makeup, but that is pretty much it. I like keeping the genes that they have. So yeah, like, isn't this nice? Everyone's kind of just chatting with each other. Everyone's discussing things with each other. And, you know, this time around, I actually had the frame of mind to give the older generation a makeover and put Max's hairs on them so that when they pass away, they aren't bald like all the other vampiresses before them. And that is the case because I always delete the CC hairs of the previous generation once we've moved on to the next one, so that, like I said before, I don't have like CC bogging down my game that I'm not using, because I like using new hairs on the new characters that we have. So normally I don't do that, like I don't give them their makeovers and I just keep whatever they had beforehand, but this time around I was like, no, they are getting makeovers so that things are a bit more put together. But okay guys, I think that this is probably a good space for us to leave off. I mean, yes, we didn't get to spend like a whole heap of time with all of our beautiful ladies from the previous generation, but if you guys have come off the, you know, the last season, then you will have seen them. And I have to admit, I love the fact that these guys are hanging out here together. Like, look at how nice this is. This is supposed to be the upper commons, and it actually makes me really happy that they've all flocked here. I thought they were going to go to the throne room, but I'm really happy they came up here instead. But you know, after playing around a little bit, I have to say, I feel like right now Lagatha is my favorite. I think Lagatha is my favorite. I mean, just look at how stunning she is. I used to think Meredith was the most beautiful in the previous generation. But after like their new makeovers, I feel like Lagatha, she just takes the cake. I mean, look at her. She is dangerously stunning. And actually my mother thinks Lagatha is the prettiest one as well. So yeah, she just looks so, so gorgeous. Oh, there was something else on my mind, but it has oh yeah, I was gonna quickly mention something about the Broodmother and the Castle Keeper who is currently staying with us. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna keep everyone together until the fire tribute, which I think I want to have in the next episode. And once the fire tribute has happened and everyone has mourned together, because I want them to stay together while they're in mourning. I feel like that's fair to everyone to get a chance to do that. And then once everyone has mourned together after the fire tribute, and we've had like the death ceremony and stuff, we've paid our respects to the older generation, then I think I will move Elaine out to Forgotten Hollow, to the Castle Sheba. Like, I will leave Elaine there, because when we have the fire tribute, it always happens at, oh look, and they're in the games hall. I love it when they use the castle as it is supposed to be used. It's amazing. But yeah, we are gonna go to the to Castle Sheba to have the fire tribute, and then once we do that, we're gonna pay our respects in the royal crypt in Castle Sheba, and then we have the Hall of Portraits, or the Portrait Hall of all the queens. So we're going to put Queen Aphrodite's urn in front of her portrait. We're going to go visit Queen Eden's portrait, and then once we've completed that, we're going to leave Elaine, the Castle Keeper, behind there. And then, while we're there, we're probably going to let Lagatha move into the Creature Cradle, and then we'll come back to Castle Eden with just our cast of 5. 5? I think so. So then we're going to have Eden, Guinevere, Meredith, Catherine, and Xiomara. So it'll be these ladies that we'll have. And then, Aura Luna is going to be with us as well. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.